Hey guys, how's it going? Jason here again. So as usual, we are back with the AMG, and this time I want to try and tackle a few things. I want to try and get that main cross member repaired along the centre there with that new one I have. We have the engine out now, so we can get the car on side easy enough. It'll be later and I should be able to do it by myself with a few jacks and stuff, axle stands. I want to get this boot floor cut out because if you look around it, it is just has a whole layer of filler over the whole top of it. So there you go, look at that. Beautiful if I can actually see through it. Yes, I want to get the fuel tank out because we're going to fill up an mx5 fuel tank, hopefully, and then yeah, we'll try and get some stuff done. But we're starting to get there. I say we're starting to get there, but it feels like we're 1,000 miles away. But one step at a time. We'll get this boot floor cut out and we'll go from there, because I don't want to flip it on side to the fuel tank side. I want to remove that fuel line, so when I'm welding around there and everything, there's no chance of burning myself or setting the car on fire, even though I would like to set it on fire sometimes. Right, let's get started. Well, as I said anyway, this boot floor is completely rotten out. And oh, look at that. That actually had. What's going on there? What? Oh, there's some sort of. Look at there, you can see. I've never been able to dig floor plan with a hammer before. There's some sort of wire in there. That's obviously to try and hold the fiberglass together. That must be the top of the fuel tank then. Over there. But yes, sorry. As I said, I'm going to try and get this fuel tank out now, and I don't really know if any of the bolts are going to come out. Let's do that. Really should have bought a new one of them. It'll be fun when the time comes to smooth it all in and give me a bigger gap to fill the matting, I suppose. But yes, I kind of lost train of thought there. Where was I? Oh yeah, right. Yeah, so I'm going to try and get this fuel tank out now. I'm not going to be able to get the camera up in there or anything, so I'm just going to rip that out. It's not that many bolts, and hopefully they'll come out. And then we'll drop that down, and then we can just do some chopping, I suppose. And it's a rather big panel to make there, and yeah, obviously I'm not going to make a panel yet actually, because I need to get the fuel tank, and I don't have a fuel tank right now. That's the thing. I do have an mx5 Mark 1 tank at work, but it's stinking on the inside. But I suppose I could use it as a template to get this done, but I won't be able to get that till Monday. So we'll have to do that later on. But yes, I want to get this tank out anyway, so we're going to do that now. So we now have the fuel tank out, and of course we have a repair around the filler hole. But this is good. Look, there's actually I got a face full of rust here, but there's a plate there welded to the top. Well, in fact, no, it's not a plate at all. It is the sign did, and I thought it was like a welded on plate, but it's apparently not. So we have all this to repair again. Delightful. And I could probably get away with not doing this whole floor actually. All depends how rotten it is once I start. Okay, so I might just cut away that entire piece, because that's where our panels went anyway. You can see my previous repairs here now. It's quite good looking. Do have to put a couple of wee spot weld on that still, but I kind of knew how to do that. But at least under here now it's good. That pump has to come out and be got away with. In fact, there's an awful lot of stuff that has to be got away with. All that wiring isn't going to be doing anything anymore. Oh look, someone's tried to get this out and snap the edges of it off. The drain bung, or the fill bung, sorry. So yeah, I still have my work cut out for me. Quite a lot of work. But I'm not going to worry about this right now, because I have bigger fish to fry on the 2 seconds. Don't know why I'm doing this, I'm just making a mess. I think I'll clean up. But anyway, yes. So I'm gonna I did cut that center beam out when I was getting the engine out because I couldn't get it down far enough, and I was gonna cut it out anyway, so I just chopped it. So we're gonna cut that beam out now after we get the car on side. Okay guys, so I have the car on its side now. This is awesome. Look at that there for access to work and stuff. I said I got the fuel tank out in the last clip. The engine out was in the last upload, and that's sold. It sold yesterday. Actually sold within a day, which is awesome because I didn't have space for it to be sitting about. So that's all away. I did cut the prop shaft for your boy because he wanted it for something else. So that should leave me enough prop shaft for the MX5 hopefully. So yeah, we're already working on this today. Gonna get this cut out and replace it with this. So this is what I did when I was taking the engine and the gearbox out. The gearbox kept on catching on that there because I didn't take the universal joint off the prop shaft. I just slid it out. I just kept on catching, so I just chopped it because we're getting rid of it anyway. But yeah, this is what we're putting in, and you get this cut out. This wiring loom goes through there. What do I do with it? I don't need any of the original wiring loom because I'm going to be running the full MX5 loom. So goodbye wiring loom. No going back once I chop this anyway. There we go. Chopped. Open out. There we go. Brake lines. We're going to be replacing the brake lines anyway, but I might just walk around it for now. So I've still got brakes when I'm rolling it about. But yeah, let's get this chopped now. Okay guys, so it's a few days later now and we're back working on this again. We do have quite a large hole here now to play with, and yeah, I think we're supposed to just get cracking. I do need to remove the remnants of the inner lip on this from the floor pan, but that'll be easy enough done. I have cut this center beam down to near enough the right size now. That's going to sit in there. I need to trim a wee bit more of it. But yeah, I think that'll be a lot stronger than the one that was there. And then I have to get these lips and all cleaned up. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is come in here and just sort this out, because this is the last bit of this lip that needs sorted out. So we'll come in here, we'll clean this up, and then I might even trim these to length. Maybe just measure from like this bolt hole to back here and then do the same both. I imagine that will probably equate to the same thing, because this has to be square with each other. So if I measure from here to here, it should all work out. So I'll do that too, and then I'll be back and we'll do some interesting stuff with this and putting it in there. When I say interesting, it's something. So back soon. So I have been working away at this now. I've got a good bit done here. We have this bit patched up. I used a bit of 5mm plate for that there. Welds are a bit gnarly looking, but I'll clean them up and go over them again. Haven't welded the inside yet, but I will get that done when I get the car back in the ground again, because it's quite awkward to get your hand in there. But that's that rot replaced. Round here all seemed okay, so we're gonna leave it. I got these cut down to the same length. There wasn't that much difference in them, and to be honest with you, remember I said about here and here being out, it's pretty close. There's a finger width there and a finger width there, so I'm happy enough with that. I did get all the spot welds drilled out of this here as well, and got this lip ball out, so that's all done. We got that patch welded up, and we got it in there tied up as well. So now I've got this in position to where I think it should be. Did have to make it a wee bit bigger because I didn't want to take too much out of these and bring this in too much, because I do want to use this to mount my seat reels, so hopefully I haven't moved it too far forward, but we'll figure that out later. So that's what it looks like in. As you can see, this is a wee bit narrower than the reels here at the minute, so we'll get these welded in each side, and then I don't know what we'll do here. Maybe make a wee L plate and do a few spot welds on there and there, and make a wee L plate that comes around here just to close that in so the water doesn't get in. But yes, I'm quite happy with that there. So I'm just going to blast away, get this in now, because, well, I need to get it in. Which pretty much I'm going to weld up here, long here, back here, and then see the way this is sticking out too much. I'll probably, when I get this patched up, I'll just taper this down so that it looks a bit tidier. And then I'm pretty sure that's done for that there bit, and then we can start this floor bit. Yeah, it's just a case of weld, grind, repeat. But I think it looks a lot stronger now. And yeah, so I'm going to start with this here first. We're making quite good progress here today for the couple of hours we've been out. So I have this in now, and I wanted to do this for ages, and I'm really happy with that there. That is nice and strong. I do have it tied into here. It's welded along here, welded along there, welded along there. It's all good, it's all welded. The only thing I need to do is weld this side of the transmission tunnel just up in here. I've got a couple of spot welds in it, but I couldn't get the angle quite right, so I didn't want to go and slap a load of shade on. Right, next up, I'm thinking I might do this floor pan, because we're basically just right in front of me. I also was thinking about a jacking point for this here, because most of the time, well, not most of the time, these come standard with a jacking point right in the center here, which is a bit of tube. I don't have that, so what I was thinking is if I notch this here out and just notch this shape out of it, I can put that in there, and that would be quite a good jacking point. It's quite strong, 3mm, with a seam weld all around. What the hell is that voice for? Right, well, it's seam welded all around. It'll be nice and solid. I could even, when I get that in there and get it nice and height, I could put a wee notch in there, like a what is it, like a wee bushing or something, just so that it presses on that there, so it's like this here, it can't flex, it's holding on to this as well. That could be good. And then we'll do it on both sides, and that will be the jacking points done. But I'm not going to do that just now. I've got to think a bit more about that and how I'm going to do it. What I'm going to do now is try and make the second part of this floor pan, and I can't decide whether I'm going to make it from here to here, or make it from here to here, then just fill this wee centre bit in, because that is quite a big bit of panel. And I'm going to try and make it in one piece, because pretty much if I had it in one piece, it would save me doing a bit more welding really. And then we'll just use that wee jogger tool to put a step in it, so it'll just sit slightly proud on top of that there, and then we can work it all together. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm not going to record myself making a template and everything, because I'm just basically going to be getting like a bit of cardboard, ramming it in there, and then trying to make it fit nicely. So I'm going to do that now, and we'll be back when we have, I'll come back with a stencil and then we'll go from there. So I have this sheet of metal cut now for the floor pan, the rear here. I know I said I'd show you the template I made, but I literally just drew around a bit of carpet. It works perfectly. So this is it so I have screwed it in with some screws just to hold it there, same as this side. We do need to get this welded in and then fill this bit in here, but it's pretty much good to there now. Obviously you need to weld it in, but screws are doing the job for now. Yes, so I got this bit in and then used a ruler, went underneath this cross member, and then got my lines. So I know where I'm doing my lines to, so I'm going to do it from here to here, and then just do it a few, and hopefully it doesn't interfere with where the seat's going to mount. but we'll figure that out at the time. No doubt it will interfere with the seat mounts, and I'm gonna have to do something. But for now, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get this pulled out now. Roll these beads in. You see me roll the beads on this side, so you don't need to see me roll the beads here. So yeah, I'm just gonna get these rolled now, and then so we'll weld them in. Oh yeah, sorry. I've also drew the line here, so I will cut this sheet about here and then overlap it a wee bit, and use the jogger so it sits nicely. But yeah, quite happy with that now. So I'm gonna get this done. Okay, so we'll have this floor pan in now. This is what it looks like. I'm happy enough with that. The lines are a wee bit wiggly, but it's underneath the car, you're not going to see it. And most importantly, it's strong. So I've just held in with some self-tappers at the minute, so we need to take this out before we weld it in and coat the inside here, where we're going to be welding, and they're not going to be able to get the leader with that sink weld 2 primer all around this edge, around these edges, and around all these edges. But for now, that is a floor pan. I'm happy with that. Next up then, what are we going to work on? I'm thinking we're going to have a look at these fuel tanks, compare them side by side, and see what way we can work this here, because this is the fuel tank out of my Mark 1 MX5. It's a bit manky inside, but it'll do for marking up and sizing, because I don't know if it's actually going to work now, because it is a lot deeper in certain areas, and it might not work. It might work, but it might not work. So I can make it fit, but I will be losing a bit of boot space, I think. But yeah, we'll put them side by side now and see what is going to work and what's not going to work. But we need it, regardless, the boot floor needs fixed anyway. So yes, that is the next thing I'm going to do. So I will bring them into the shed now, look at them side by side, do some measurements, and see how well we can make this work. The reason I want to use the MX5 fuel tank is because it has baffles and everything inside it already, and it's been tried and tested with the MX5, so that when you're cornering and stuff like that there, it's not going to cavitate the fuel pump. I said there's boys have fitted the MX5 fuel pump cap thing to the MGB tanks, and they said that they were suffering from that issue. Another thing you can do is fit a auxiliary fuel pump to the MX5 or to the MGB tank, and that would solve this issue as well. But when I've already got a tank here and I don't have to buy any more stuff, I think this will be probably the more, what's the word, cost effective way to do it. But we'll see how we get on. So this is the two fuel tanks sitting side by side. Then this left one is the MGB one, this is the MX5 one, and you can see the overall footprint is pretty much the same. Not a whole lot of difference in the two of them, but the MX5 has cutouts here that would have been for, I think that was the boot floor area, and then there is a lot of dead space underneath for this belly thing back here. And the main issue I have here is that it is roughly 4 inches taller, not counting for the fact that there's the hoses have to come out of the top of it as well. What I could do is try and adjust this area a wee bit, this belly, to try and give me a bit more space. I could maybe give it a couple of wee whacks with a hammer and get that up so that it's at least level with this one. But I don't know if I'm going to get enough basically movement out of it. Other option I could do is have the fuel tank sitting at an angle. So if I pull that out, I have it sitting like that in the car. The fuel gauge might not work the same as it used to, but that would work. But it would pretty much mean that this back quarter here probably doesn't do a whole lot, because all the fuel will be on this side. I need to take the top off and see what's going on there, because I'm not sure if the pickup point goes all the way down there. I imagine it does. So that would mean that wouldn't work. I could counteract for this 4 inches in the just by cutting out the boot space. But let's see if I go to the boot. So that means we wouldn't get a spare wheel in, but we would get a fuel tank in, and that could work. Another thing I'm going to come across is when I go to put, so I'm going to have to cut this filler neck off here, weld onto this tank. The issue with that is that there sits pretty much right there, and I'm not going to have space for that either. But if I did recess this up into the boot floor, that might line up to the same space or close enough that I might have to just get a wee bit of a longer hose on it. Just put it into this area here. So we've got a few options, and I think the first thing we're going to have to do to even consider doing any of these is pretty much cut the floor out, because the floor needs cut out anyway. So we'll go over to the boot floor and get it cut out. Okay, before I even go out there, I've came up with a bit of a plan the way I want to do this here. So I've measured this again. I went out to the car, and basically I'm gonna have to cut the boot floor out first. But when I get the boot floor out, I basically want to make a bit of L sheet metal that comes down like this here and folds, and then I'm gonna notch this shape out of the fold, and then we'll drill the bolt holes. And then when we go back out to the car here now, I'll show you. On this side here, or no, this side here, sorry, I'm pretty much gonna make this L here come like this here, and then we're gonna weld it onto the inside of here, and that'll be the mount for this side. And then on this side, we will make like a stepped one like this, and then we will mate it up to this once we get it on. And then once we have those two sides done, we can set the tank in and just see how it's all gonna work together. So the first thing I'm gonna do is get this boot floor cut out, and we will go from there. Okay, let's see what we'll have. So we'll put that in there. Like that. Right. I probably made that hole bigger than I needed to, but sure. What about it? Right. So I probably want to have that sitting there, I would say. And you wouldn't even know. So I'm going to get these end plates folded up now. I'll probably do this side first. Or what side? Should I do the ends here? No. We'll do both these ends first, and then we'll box it in after that. Okay guys, so we made a bit of progress on this then. This is where I'm at now. I have some sort of cage to hold this tank. I've made this side to here. I made this side. I had to do this side in two pieces because my metal folder is only 2 foot long, so I had to do that. Then we'll still need to weld these up on the tank, but we're going to make a frame around there, around the back and around this side. I did have to come up and cut the back off here, so we've got rid of this whole back section for now anyway. And yeah, we now need to, so at the minute when I put this up here, the original plan was to line it up with this here, but if I did that there, we'd never be able to get our shackle bolts in and out, so we can't do that. So the idea now is I'm going to try and basically have to step this out probably 2 inches before I can even start. And then this side here, I suppose we can just cut this all off and just make a new lip for both sides. And then this back panel here, I'm gonna clean this up as best as possible. I'm gonna weld it to this here because I can get a bit of curve in that sheet anyway, so that'll work. This side seems to line up okay. So on that front we're okay. We just need our left and right is the problem at the minute. But I'm not too concerned right now because we've still got quite a long way to go. We'll move that out of the way for a second. And I do have my yokel here, my air hammer, and look at this. So we have the same sort of repairs that were done on the other chassis. We're doing this one. So we'll have that today to look forward to as well. There. screw that back in again. So yes, we have that to look forward to. I can't wait to get doing that. And yeah, I say the outside does look pretty good. At this angle here, I can see a few wee areas like there I missed. So I'm glad I have it up in this angle now. I can pop that right off sneaking. Yeah, we can get at these here while we're here now anyway. I see you missed surface bristles on that already just from sitting. But just, I'm going to now trying to figure out some way of capping the ends of this basically. I'm pretty much probably just gonna, for here, I'll do like a step, like a little shapey thing. And we'll come around and then we'll come down, and then that'll get this out, we'll come down, cross, and then down again to line up with the tank. We're probably going to have to do that in 2 bits as well because of the length of this here, unfortunately, but it's just the way it is. We're just going to have to make do what we'll have. Should have enough steel left. I'm probably going to have to get more flat soon because we're starting to run low. But yes, I'm happy with the shape of that there. I think it looks quite good. I don't know if I'm going to be using this exact tank yet, or I'm going to try and get another tank, but this is good for at least mocking this up and see if it's going to work. It has to work now because I've nothing left on the big floor, or the back panel. But, you know, we're here now. I'll just keep on blasting. So yes, I'm going to try and make some sort of step panel here. That might be interesting to try and make with my folder, because it's not the most intricate folder. I can't really do a whole lot of maneuvers with it, but we'll see what I can come up with. Okay, so I know this looks pretty wild at the minute, right? But we have this now, which is like a cage mount that's going to sit up in this boot floor, and this is the boot floor. It's pretty big hole there now, and I'll just set it in here now and I'll kind of give you a rough idea. I didn't make this but too long, so I did have to, this was all like one folded in one piece, but then I made it too long, so I had to cut it and bring it a little bit, just because it was kind of like sandwiching itself in. It was like kind of squeezing itself, and I didn't like that, so yeah. It would have worked that way, but it didn't look very good. So pretty much we're gonna, I don't really want to mount this yet. I just want to get this made mostly. So basically I want to fix this chassis leg first before I actually get this into the car, because once I put this in, it's going to be quite hard to work on anything on this side, because this is where this is going to be sitting. So I feel like if I had this all patched up beforehand, and to do that I'm going to have to figure out some way of holding the car the way it is, because I'm going to have to take the leaf spring off, and to take the leaf spring off, the whole car is kind of held on this leaf spring at the minute, and yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I might have to make a brace for the back here and hold it that way. I'm not overly sure how I'm going to do it yet, but I'll figure that out. I've been trying to think of a way to do it, but I haven't really spent too much time thinking about it, to be honest. Yeah, I've more been trying to get this sort of thing done. And yeah, I'm going to come in here and cut the remnants of the lips and everything off, because there's still a wee hair on that there. And I'm not going to cut out all this here. I'm just going to leave this in. So I'll clean this all back, and I'll use this as a mating surface for welding these in. And then when I get it sort of where I want, I'll trim back where I need to trim. But yeah, it is starting to look like something now. And to be honest with you, I'm losing a bit of boot floor, like, so I'll probably not be able to carry a spare wheel with me, or if I do, I'm going to have to lift it up a wee bit. But sure, the boot's useless anyway, so I'm not too concerned about it. Even if I have to, like this boot panel, even if that's like make a new one with like a circle on it that's like recessed up, still get a spare wheel in there, but it'll be fine. And yeah, so this is where we're at the minute, but I'll get this put in now and I'll show you what it looks like. So yeah, so this is what it looks like in then. Once I'm doing the final stages of putting this in, I will finish these bits off and stuff. I don't want to do that just yet, because there has to be a wee bit of flex before I put it in, and then we'll pull this panel out to the line here, So I'll probably have to drill these rib nuts out that I put in before, or nuts the back of this panel just so it sits shy of the rib nuts. And then round on the inside, this is what it looks like from the inside. Then the light isn't great. I'll go get a light here. Okay, so I have a head torch on here now, and you can see it kind of sits in there quite nice. And yeah, you see, if you look at the corners, this kind of still sitting in a wee bit of a taper. Once it's in properly, it should sit square. But for about 3 hours that took that to make it. If I suppose if I had it drawn or knew exactly what I was going to do, it probably would have been quicker. But yeah, so I think I've got to call it quits for this upload then, because there's not really much more I can do with this at the minute until I fix this chassis leg. So that will be the next upload. I want to get that done, and maybe get that done and get the tank welded in then, all in one piece, because that means that's a big section done. Because I've already done that chassis leg. I just need to do a couple of finishing touches the way it's sitting at the minute. But that's pretty awesome. I'm glad I got that done. It means the whole boot floor is replaced, and we've got the fuel tank in. And yeah, I don't think it really. Do you need to enclose that any more than it is already? I'm not sure, but yeah. So that's done. We got this done this time. So like that's a brave bit of progress on the underside in one upload. I think I'm fairly happy with that. So yeah, next time we'll do that, and we'll do that chassis leg. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna call it quits for this upload. Please like, subscribe, and I will see you again in the next one.